Hi, I'm Benjamin McClure,
I'm Jared McClure,
and we're the creators of CYBER SAVAGE.
This is the first video in our series of how to play CYBER SAVAGE. In this video, we're going to be covering movement.
In CYBER SAVAGE, each character will have speed as a statistic in their profile. This number represents the amount of inches in a single movement action that a character is able to move. Up to, of course. You don't have to move the whole thing. So, CYBER SAVAGE has a speed characteristic of 6, meaning he can move up to 6 inches in a single movement action. We're measuring from the edge of his base, and we're moving him along so that the edge of his base doesn't exceed within the 6 inches. Now, of course, in a movement action, this can be broken up any way you want. So if you want to spend 3 inches of movement, perhaps moving, and then change directions for an inch, there's 4 inches spent, and his final 2 inches, he's just gonna lurch the other way. There's basic movement. Let's get on to moving over features of terrain. Well, CYBER SAVAGE has this thing in his way. Pieces of terrain are outlined in the rulebook. This is considered a feature. Now, to get up the feature, he'll need to move, it looks like, look at that carpenter measure. It looks like 2 inches to it. Now, his speed stat is 6, so he's got 4 inches left. So we're gonna go ahead and measure, looks like 2 inches of vertical movement, and 2 more inches takes him to here. And there is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, and he's up on top here. So he'll have to wait for his next activation where he can spend another movement activation to go another inch, another 2 inches, another 1 inch. And he's finally on top of the thing. CYBER SAVAGE has encountered all manner of strange flora throughout his adventures. But here on the artificial landscape of Saturn, these scungle tubes grow together in clumps and make traversing through them difficult. When doing a basic movement action, a piece of area terrain doesn't actually affect you in any way at all. He can move his 6 inches through there, no problem. Obviously having to account for the blocking parts of this area terrain. Area terrain will affect movement in 2 cases, one of which being charging, which we'll get to in the combat video, and the second of which being sprinting. Sprinting, detailed further in the activations video, is when you spend both of your actions to do a complex action, which will be sprint. It is double your speed value. In his case, it is 12. But when you're sprinting, you may not move vertical, none of that, and you may not move through area terrain. So if he were to sprint, he could move up to 12, but 7 inches ends him right at the clump of scungle tubes. Or perhaps he has 3 inches here and isn't able to continue sprinting because he wants to traverse up this landscape. Of course, when sprinting, sometimes it's easier just to move around it. There's 6, 9, 12 inches. No problem for CYBER SAVAGE. He's got metal legs. Obstacles are the other type of terrain. Now this one, it's a little bit weird, but people have all kinds of stuff in their terrain collection. I'm ruling this as an obstacle, with something that I would state to my opponent before playing, just to be clear. Most people think of low fences or things you can peek through. I like this obstacle because it's cool. It looks like a dimetrodon, but a plant. Also, it gives complete blocking cover, which we'll get to later. But for the purposes of this video and anytime you play with me, this is an obstacle. An obstacle is different from an area terrain or a feature because it can actually be completely ignored during movement. Even though it appears you have to move vertical over this, because it's ruled as an obstacle, we're just assuming he's doing something really cool as he jumps over, no problem. It does, however, block your movement when you're doing a sprint or a charge, which we'll get to later, in the same way as area or moving vertical. For instance, if he's gonna just do a normal movement action and go 6, he can clear it, no problem. But if he's doing a sprint action where he's trying to move his up to his full 12 which he is getting from doubling his speed, he can't clear it and has to land right next to it. But it's fine because he's undercover.
Hey, thank you for watching. Any questions? Leave a comment.
And if you'd like to know more, visit our website.